Here you can see he has split up his Marines so that he can see any drops coming or kill this very low hit point Warp Prism. Not sure why he set it up like this. We'll see if he... Oh, we do see a Dark Shrine being hidden in this bottom right hand corner. I'm guessing he will summon in Dark Templar right here to get them a little closer and not have to run by the watchtower or anything. Yep. A little bit faster on the Dark Templar. And he's only sending one in right now, which is a good idea because this forces the Terran player, if he has no detectors, which obviously he does for a Raven, to waste a scan on this one single Dark Templar. As you can see, this Dark Templar is not going to be able to do too much damage because, well, he does have Ravens, and once he sees them, he just kills them. Dark Templars are truly the glass cannon of StarCraft 2. They have 1 armor, 120 hit points with shields, but they do 45 damage per swing. So much damage. You can see Jinro's building a missile turret in his mineral line. I'm surprised he's not building one up here as well as a detector, so that he doesn't have to worry as much about the Dark Templar. And here you can see he has this expansion fully up and running, and Jinro has not yet scouted it.
SCV ready.
And unfortunately, Jinro didn't notice this scouting, because like I said, sometimes what a player does helps you give you a hint on what he's thinking, what he's afraid of, and what he's doing. You can see another couple gateways going up. He did have the Twilight Council out, and he researched Charge. I love Charge with Zealots. It really is amazing against Marines. And we should be seeing a cybercore, a robotics facility, robotics bay going up soon. I'll get the name right eventually. He's getting that forge up so he can start getting upgrades. That's always a good idea. And he did drop a Dark Templar back here. And using it mainly to scout more than harass. Maybe keep Jinro on his toes and keeps him thinking. Harassing is as much about the damage you can do with harassment as much as it is just a mental game against your opponent. It kind of forces your opponent on the defensive. He's got to keep at least a Raven in the back of his base. He's even starting to, he throws up a sensor tower so he can see when the drops are coming. And he now does, well, obviously, that was, ignore that. But he throws up a couple turrets in the back of the base to do some damage, to pull the units up, do some harassing of his own. Not sure how effective that really is, but it does do some decent scouting on top of that. He sees that he's going for an Immortal Zealot Stalker build. And I actually like this idea because with that Dark Templar, he has seen that you have a mass tank build, and Immortals are very strong against tanks. I'm pretty sure he's seen all of Jinro's base. Oh, no, he hasn't. But he hasn't seen a Ghost Academy yet, or a Ghost, so he's not worried about his shields being completely destroyed by Jinro's EMP. And we do see that Dark Templar scouting, making sure a hidden expansion isn't anywhere. And this is kind of ironic to me that Jinro sent Marines to these expansions to make sure the expansion wasn't being hidden on him, yet he never sent a Raven up here to make sure no expansion has gone up on this island. And this is probably the difference in this game right now. Phobos would be in a lot worse of a position if this expansion had been taken out, and a couple turrets going up here instead of the couple turrets in this space would have just killed so many probes, would have done a lot of damage. And even these photon cannons won't stop the turret drop, because all he has to do is drop a point defense drone and that'll intercept the damage from the cannons. Kick that stalker off the Xel'Naga watchtower. And this expansion's finally going up. And he just scans it and he sees it's just finally gone up. But he sees the size of that army, which should really give him a hint that that much production this late into the game is really hard to pull off with this much teching with just one single base. So he should feel like there's another expansion up, and maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, maybe you can get that much of a force on one base, maybe he doesn't realize quite how many Immortals there are up there, and another drop into the back, but with this observer here he can see up that cliff, so it's not a problem. He does run in here to do some more scouting, drops a point defense drone so he doesn't get shot down by the stalkers, and has a good idea of what's going on with the Protoss player. The Protoss player did throw up a Robo Bay here and is getting the Thermal Lance, so you're going to see a transition in by him to a heavy Immortal, Zealot, and Colossus army, which I absolutely like. He sees that Banshees haven't been coming out so far. These Stalkers would... Not really enough Stalkers to take care of the Banshees. So probably a unit he would be weak against, and he does have a starport with a... Where's the star? Oh, I am blind like a bat. That could be cranking out some Banshees. I think that wouldn't be a too terrible idea. Now, as Jinro got his third base up and this cannon, he is moving out to attack again. It's the same timing push we saw the last time from him. And we'll see how this goes against this army of 2 Colossi. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the unit tab. He has 2 Colossi, 7 Immortals out. And I want to note something. He did set this up here, and he has that pylon here so that he can summon in Dark Templar behind, which he just tried to do, but Jinro backed out, killed the Dark Templar, nothing really done. Ooh, almost got that Warp Prism, but not quite. Now he's trying to kill some probes with his Hellions, and he has this entire army sitting back here. And you would think this is a great position for Jinro, but with these Immortals that just don't take that much damage from tanks, especially when these tanks go into siege modes, and the Zealots charging forward and taking out these, charging forward into the tanks and Hellions, and the Colossi absolutely rip apart the Hellions. You can see this battle doesn't go very well for Jinro, especially with these siege tanks firing so slow, and Immortals with their shields up take such little damage from siege tanks, only 10 damage every shot they take. And now he has this army of Ravens running back. And we'll see if he goes for this expansion or if he bypasses this expansion, because he does see the planetary fortress and goes straight for the main and the natural. Now, I'm not sure that siege tanks are the best idea against when you sieging the tanks is the best idea against Immortals, but does give them more range, so they don't get quite murdered as fast as the Colossi. But I don't really think there's anything Jinro can do at this point. I think this was a good play by Phobos. However, part of the reason is because of this hidden expansion up here that Jinro never saw. He almost got up here to see it, but not quite. If he had just flown that Raven a little further back, he would have seen that expansion, and I think this game would have gone a lot differently. As you see, Jinro still does a little bit of harassment here, but his base is being destroyed. He's only got 2 siege tanks. These Immortals don't take enough damage to the siege tanks and rip the siege tanks apart so easily. These Colossi have longer range of 9 when they're upgraded, which easily outranges the missile turrets. The missile turrets can't fire on them. And now he's getting out a Banshee because there weren't many Stalkers, and Stalkers aren't even that good against Banshees, especially without Blink. And he is pulling SCVs off the line to try to deal with this, but obviously not much SCVs are going to do to Immortals and Stalkers and the Colossi, and Jinro GGs and leaves. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that game, and hope that you subscribe to my channel, visit my forums, leave me some feedback, send me an email, something like that. Post on my YouTube channel. I'd like to hear from people. I love when new people subscribe, by the way, and it makes my day. So if you're thinking about subscribing, go ahead and do it. It makes me happy. Alright, thanks for watching.